Each one of us is in this journey of self-expression right now. And we know that it's been difficult for a lot of us. The world is changing, and we are looking for new opportunities to shift our own lives. But it seems like the world is coming against us, and we can't quite figure out what we need to do to make a change. And sometimes we run into these experiences that are challenges. Tonight we're going to talk about hidden blessings. Last week we were going to talk about hidden blessings, but I guess there was a blessing in the fact that we didn't make the trip here to Boca to broadcast live to all of you, because from what I heard, many of you were out on the roads. And here in South Florida, unfortunately, we had some unprecedented rain. It was very floody, very confusing for many of us to know what road to go down. And unfortunately, to all our friends who suffered damage from the torrential rains, the flooding that may have happened in their homes and damage to their houses, we send the energy of healing and speedy resolve to assist you in this time of difficulty. And there's the challenge again. So how do we overcome such a challenge that is out of our control? There is a blessing in it all, but we may not be able to see it while we're in the midst of it. But we have to learn and trust what's going on behind the scenes, because what goes on behind the scenes is the divine plan, not our plan, not man's plan. It is the plan, the ultimate plan. So as we look to the universe for answers, we have to look back and think, where were the times that we thought life had come against us, that we had been smashed down, that everything had toppled on us, and somehow we rose. We rose to the occasion. Something magical, different happened out of something that was seemingly not so good. What about those relationship issues? That relationship that crumbles, falls apart, you don't really know how to get out of it, and then finally it's done. And there's a part of relief, but there's also this part of sorrow, because we look back and we think of all the time that we wasted in a relationship that we didn't know how to find a way out of, and we did not understand the true meaning of the relationship and how we got ourselves in that relationship in the first place. And then when we're in that relationship, in that sense of stagnation, we're thinking about how we want to leave, and then suddenly it all comes caving in. But we have to recoup, we have to regroup. And then we're sad. And then we have blame and shame and difficulty navigating, coming back into the world and searching for a new partner, finding a way to attract someone different and better. But then when we fast forward a year or two after that, it's so fabulous when we hear the stories that you've met someone else. And now it makes everything you went through worth it, because you had a clear-cut idea of what you wanted, and you most certainly knew what you did not want. And from knowing what you want and what you don't want, you created this energy to attract the right person, and now you're happier than you could have ever been. Sure, I know you would love to have that lost time back, but was it really lost? You see, even that is a hidden blessing. That time gave you the opportunity to heal some past wounds and to recognize your own negative patterns in the relationship, and to learn how you can move yourself forward into a new relationship and create a different dynamic. We all have these challenges that crop up. What about that injury that happens to the physical body, and then you're down and out and you can't go to work? Now we're really in a pickle, so they say, because how are we going to have enough money to come in the house? But somehow everything manages to work out. Looking back, hindsight is 20/20. You make your way through these challenges. But did the break do you well? Did it give you the opportunity to get out of the routine? And in that stillness, did you decide that maybe you wanted a new career or to go back to school? And you proved how you could live under a different way of life and financially make some adjustments so that you could do something. But otherwise, when you were stuck in the routine of the job that you really didn't like, but you were glad to have because you needed a job, because you believed you needed a job, because it was necessary to have a job, and you kind of bought into this whole story of how your life is supposed to be, you really were never living the life you were meant to live. And there you are, stuck. stuck in a story that's not even your story, stuck in experiences that don't allow you to be your own unique self. So something comes along and knocks you down, disrupts you. And now we have to revamp, reinvent, redesign ourselves. And that in itself, any human will tell you, can feel a little intimidating, perhaps a bit scary. But that's okay. Because in that journey, we find ourselves, we find our ability to trust and to know that we have the power of God behind us and that nothing is really happening against us. Nothing's really happening to us. It is always happening for us. Yes, it is always happening for you. No matter what the obstacle, it's happening for you to grow, for you to get closer to the divine, for you to open up a new pathway because you're stuck on one that you won't let go of. You're too attached to something. You're buying into a paradigm that's no longer serving you. There's so many reasons why something will shift and change. And then it moves you along. And that movement along is to show you a new pathway. I look back to the year of 2004, and interestingly enough, on this night of our solar eclipse, not happening here in South Florida, but this is the day of a solar eclipse. And on this day of the solar eclipse, it's bringing all these changes. And we're closing out a lot of energy that has been ongoing for a while. And when I look back at the choices that I made back in the year of 2004, my choice was to change something in my life that gave me an opportunity to live a different lifestyle. Or so I thought. I thought I was trading the concrete jungle life of going into New York City for work and the suburbia life of after work. I thought I was trading that for paradise, sunny South Florida. And that my work would just have a different sense, feel, had a more tropical feeling, so I could think I was on vacation. I really had it all planned. How many of you have your life planned? I mean, something came upon me. I decided to make a change, but then I had a plan of how beautiful it was going to be, how wonderful. Ah, yes. But something happened. Something happened that in the end ended up being a hidden blessing. But I certainly can tell you that a major fall that caused damage to my body that didn't allow me to pursue and continue the career, the path I was on, that was a successful one. Well, that wasn't in my plan. But the career was successful. But was I happy? Was I really enjoying what I was doing? Or was I just doing it for the next challenge? Or the next, this is what is expected of me? What was creating my drive? So, was it done to me? Against me? No, the change was done for me. Now, yes, it was uncomfortable, and yes, there were moments that the healing that I needed was painful. But I found a way to heal, and in that stillness, I was able to revamp, redesign, reinvent how my life would look. And I realized that I was making a deal with the world, and what the world expected me to do, my career, my profession, meeting the expectations of my bosses, but I wasn't following my divine plan, my soul journey. So many of you who have been through your bumps in the road and even tragedies, it's to realign you to your soul journey. And it's all part of the plan. So in my stillness, I made a choice after my move here in 2004, but during that 2004 into 2005 time, that I was going to pursue this path. Something I had never done prior to coming here. Yes, a reading or two here and there, but nothing to say I was an expert or I was someone who was going to pursue this life. I was performing based on what my professional career was asking of me. And my heart and my training was in music. So I was working the world and singing when I could, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't really me. So how many things are you doing in your life that aren't really you? And what is happening that you're perceiving as a inconvenience, a tragedy, a disruption that is really trying to wake you up and move you along the path of life so that you can attract to yourself exactly what you want. You have the power. You have the vision, the power to shift anything. But you need to think differently, want differently. You need to feel the feeling of what it could be like if you could make the change. So what could the change be for you? How can you make the change? You see, in this day of life where everything is always in a state of change and flux, and there's an energy upon the planet that some of us have noticed that people are waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's a distraction. That is not the truth. That is not what's meant to happen for you. The shoe's going to drop if the shoe's going to drop. But what the shoe dropping does is wake you up, cause you to rethink your plan, ask you, is this what you really want, or is there a different way for you? Not for the world, not what everybody else is doing. What do you want to do? There's a blessing in every moment. Even though 2020 was a shift humanity could have done without, at least from the experiential point of view, but we needed it. We needed a shift to wake us up. Unfortunate that it had to be so confining and tragic and fearful. But now we're all paying attention. We're paying attention to who we are, and we're looking at everything in the world differently. And that doesn't mean that we've been robbed of our innocence and our joy and our harmony. It's there because it's inside of you. Harmony, joy, love, peace is not an external experience. We were numbing ourselves down, dumbing ourselves down by going out into the world and doing so many external things that brought us joy and fun, but were you really enjoying it? When you went out with your friends on Friday night, were you there because that's just what you do? Or were you there because you really wanted to be there on a Friday night? Were you exploring the possibilities of your life, or were you just going through the motions? Were you lining up with your soul and who you've come to be, or just doing what you always do because that's what you do? And then where do you break out of the routine? That's become repetitive and almost robotic, and not allowing you to be fully enmeshed and enjoy the moment. So in 2020 and part of 2021 and carrying into 2022, we all had to sit with ourselves and really take a good look and look at the hidden blessing in the moments that were definitely difficult. Many of you lost jobs. Some of you have yet to recuperate from that. Many of you have had much loss in your family, and you miss them so much, as we all do and we all would if we were in your shoes. But death is a part of the journey of life. And in the crossing over, there's a blessing for those who cross over. And we here on earth have to find the hidden blessing even in the loss of someone that we love so dearly. Their life represented their essence here on earth. And now we are left with their essence. The essence never goes away. The memories of who they are and their meaning in life never disappear. Unless we get caught up with so many other things, we pay them no more attention. But I can assure you our loved ones on the other side most certainly will do their best to get your attention should you drift away from the blueprint, the essence of energy that they have surrounded you with from their time with you in the physical world, and that they continue to present to you on a daily basis. Yes, a daily basis. How do you think some of these serendipitous coincidences happen, right? They just line up so beautifully. Because the universe is orchestrating things to get your attention. Your loved ones are sending you smoke signals. Look over here. There's a new job. Why are you worrying about this? Why are you still in this marriage? Get out now. Go. You don't have to impress anyone. Go. Why do you think you cannot support yourself when you've been supporting yourself the whole time? Why? Just because you don't have the partner anymore? You don't think you'll be okay? Of course you will be. Why are you staying trapped? There's a blessing in everything, the good and the not so good. And the hidden blessing and the challenges and the obstacles that we have in life are our greatest gifts. And the more in alignment we are with the spirit of who we are and the alignment of the divine plan and the guidance that Spirit is offering us all every day, the less the challenges present. They don't come as dramatically or intensely. They present themselves in a way and you're like, oh, been here, done that, not going down that road again. Let me go down this road. Might have a new challenge, but I'm up for a change. Because this is a time to grow. The universe is asking all of humanity to grow. To find the blessing in everything that surrounds us and stop being so fixated on the physical things of the world. And to let go and literally let God. Take the wheel, God. Help us navigate the storms of life and assist us in journeying through these experiences and appreciating the moments. And in the difficult moments, know that we are strong enough, we are courageous enough, we are intelligent enough, we are enough. And that the moments that are beautiful on the journey, that we are to be grateful, we are to be centered, and we are to trust the beauty of all that we need in this world. And that is available to each one of us. It's a journey. And no matter where you are in this life, on this journey, there are blessings everywhere. And if you're on your knees asking for assistance, if something in your life needs changing, you have the power to change it. You have the power, the courage, the wisdom, the connection to make it happen. So don't stay caught up in a cycle. Choose to release and recognize that there is a blessing in even the darkest of moments, and that the light that shines through when you come out the other side is going to be better than any place you've ever been, because the journey is always evolving, and you hold the key to your own blessings.